Right, do samurai have nipple rings? Do they have nipple rings? Well, yes they do, but not the nipple rings you're expecting. They actually have nipple rings on their armour. Now, my name's Anthony Cummins. I deal with ninja history and samurai history. Now, if you want to support me, please get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido. Here it is. Right, and if you're okay with that, let's get on with nipple rings. Right, a new video has just been put up by Scott from Sengoku Studies, and it's in the monthlies. So we've got a monthly playlist. Scott is the first one to get it up. We're on armour this month. We're on body armour, basically. The main do is what most people call it, the do body armour. Now, samurai, you may have seen it or you may not have done, and now from now on you'll never not see it, is some of them have nipple rings. Now, there's a left one and a right one, or sometimes just a right one or sometimes just a left one. I've seen multiple versions. And on the whole, one side is where you attach your sai-hai, where you just either tie it on or hook it on, I'm not quite sure. And the other side is for your tenugui. Now, a tenugui is just a piece of cloth. So you get this, you get body armour, and what you'll find is a piece of cloth is tied onto one side, probably tied at the top with the long tail going down, so you can mop your face and let it drop. And the other one is your sai-hai, you can undo it. Now, a sai-hai is for captains. So imagine you got 100 troops behind you, 1,000 troops behind you. You need to put your sai-hai in the air, and to move it one side, I think it's left, is to advance, and to move it right is to retreat. You point to the enemies with the fluffy end, and you point to your allies with the non-fluffy end. These are all parts of the teachings that come from Nato Ryu, Samurai Arms, Armour, and the Tactics of Warfare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not I'm not going to link the playlist today. I'm going to link Scott's video, so you can go have a look. He's got loads of information on it. I have found differences where sometimes it's left, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's reverse, but the main point is you get tenugui and you get sai-hai, and they clip them onto their nipple rings. Right, but what I'm going to do for my video this month, or this starter one, is stop coughing for a start. I'm going to take you through the bands. Now, the name of it in Japanese and English will be on the screen so you can follow along. So here we go. Now, this is from my book, again, Samurai Arms, Armour, and the Tactics of Warfare, and it's on page 339. And these are, this manual is from about 1660, roughly, if not a bit earlier. And this is the translation of it. Now, the bands or the layers going down it are named different things. And I'm going to take you through them now with a bit of background information on each one. Now, the first one at the top is called Ichino Eater. Okay, which Ichi, if you guys know, is number 1. But it's got a second name. Now, this is a long Japanese name. It's Tsuru Bashiri no Ita. So basically it's where the bowstring scrapes. So when you let go of your bowstring, it actually scrapes across the top here, which is another piece of evidence for actually they didn't do the outer swing. And I've seen old samurai schools doing archery, and they do not spin the arrow around like you normally get in Kudo. They just let it fly, and the string scrapes across the armor. And this is a bit more information and knowledge about that's probably a reality in Sengoku period. Another bit of information the scroll gives is it says you can tell when you've got an archer's body armour because this has an extra piece of leather across it glued on, and that is because otherwise the arrow gets either caught on the laces or on the body part, and it makes it smooth and easy for it to go off and stops wearing away the top of the armour. Now, the next one is called Ichino Eater, of course, because Ich-ni is the second one. But however, it's got a different name, which is Sendan no Eater. And this is because there is another piece of armour that's called Sendan that hangs around this area. And that's an old name from the old style armours. So it's actually got an older term attached. Now, the next one is called San no Eater. So we've got Ich-ni-san. I'm sure you all know that. But it's also called Cubino Eater. And that's because there's another part where it rests on. And it's also possibly to do with the stomach, the band of the stomach. So, but there is another piece of armour from older times where this may have got its name from. Now, the clever ones of you will have noticed that it actually doesn't say number 4. So Ich-ni San Shi in Japanese. They don't say Shi because of death. So the Kuden of the scroll says they avoid the name Shi no Eater because for the 4th plate, because Shi is death. So they use Do no Eater. So basically the middle body plate. So even though it's called a Do, this is the band of the Do really. So it avoids the idea of death. Now, but then you'll see it changes again. It doesn't then go on to number 5, 6, and 7. It starts again at 1. Now, these are leather bands. They are originally were called Ichinokawa, Ichinokiri, Ninokiri, Sannokiri. But that means to cut. So the first, second, and third cut areas. Now, and it says because the word kiri is to cut and it's negative on yourself, they changed it to kawa and have leather bands there. So that's sort of more, again, the ritualistic aspect of the armour. Now, the next one, hote, is the lowest band of the armour. Now, this is where the tassets attach. And it's also got something underneath it called yari domari, now, or yaridome. Now, a lot of people never know about this. It's one of those things in samurai sort of armor where you know if you're dealing with a bit of a good piece of armor or an original piece of armor. It's because it's never seen, and when people do reproductions, they don't reproduce it. Now, what it is it's actually a small up curve of the arm, and I'll show you now. So underneath your armour, right at the bottom, it curves up like that. So if this is the arm coming down, there's a curve in it like this. So it comes out like this, yeah? But actually, that little curve pushes the tassets out. The tassets are these bits. Tasset, it's a bloody French medieval word or whatever it is. These little things here. Not these. And it pushes them out slightly. But actually what it does is when a spear hits you and it drags down, or you're scrapping and you're going at it with a spear, it hits and it goes down, and if there's no lip there, it'll come off the end and go right into your testicles. It'll cut your manhood off. It'll go right down the top of the end. All sorts will happen, and it will go into your femoral arteries. Or you wouldn't even have to attack people anymore. You just go down there. So what they do is they put a little lip in, and that means if it slides, it hits there, and they've got to pull back. And it slides, or it comes off, and it pulls it off, and it'll be angled. Same as medieval armor, Western medieval. It's angled outwards like that. So it's difficult to find pictures of this, and I'm hoping somebody can find some pictures. But I'd like to buy a set of armour with one of this. And my armour at the minute doesn't have it, so my machine is in danger. Don't tell the missus. Right, as you can not hear, Bolt is not snoring today, for those who are on my channel. He snores every bloody day, the dog. But I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you click the link to Scott's channel. If you want to know more, I'm working from this, which is an original text. It doesn't mean everything is 100% correct. Well, what I mean is, nowadays in modern research, we get like a universal understanding of the different styles, but I'm going straight to an original text just to get as much information as I can. So there we go, guys. Enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to Scott's channel. His channel is now growing, which is great, so thank you for helping Scott out. Go over there, click it, subscribe.